Before you start anything, hit all the nuts and bolts with some PB Blaster. Okay, there we go. Now that we got that done, we can start. Good morning and welcome to the JeepSolid garage. So as you can see, if you were real quick there, you can see that I have a broken leaf spring. So I'm going to take you guys through the process of replacing the leaf springs on my 1992 Jeep Wrangler YJ. This can be a little bit of a difficult project, as in some of the bolts can really be rusted on there. That's why we wanted to hit it with that PB Blaster right away, let that penetrate set there, and just kind of soak in to help try to loosen up the threads for us. So let's get started. So here are my new leaf springs. This is a kit from Rugged Ridge, and this kit comes with everything I need in here. All the hardware, the bushings, should be a good kit to put on here. And during the opening sequence, if you noticed, it is broken right back here. The actual leaf spring right here, it just broke off. You know, there's that round part right here, broke off. It's supposed to be in the shackle right there. So it's been broken for a while. It was like this when I bought it from the previous owner. But obviously it's been broken for a while because it's dug into the frame there, so let's fix this up. And just for a comparison, this is the passenger side. So this is what it's supposed to look like, although this leaf spring is a bit tired. We're going to be replacing all this hardware. First thing, hit those bolts with that PB Blaster. Second things, we got the wheels chalked. Now we're going to get it up on jack stands, and we want the jack stands under the frame so that the axle will drop down. We want those wheels to drop down to their lowest position. So let's do that. Next, let's disconnect this shock so that the spring can relax all the way down. Just a quick 3/4 wrench on here. And now we're doing this one side at a time. I'm doing the driver's side right now, and we're leaving the passenger side hooked up so that the axle isn't completely free. We don't want it just falling out on us. So do one side at a time. Okay, now underneath, we can take these 4 bolts off from this plate. Hopefully my impact driver will do the job here. All right, there we go. We got the 4 nuts off on this bracket. They were a bit difficult to come off, but we finally got them done. Now these 2 U-bolts can come off. And I've got mine kind of supported by the jack stand here because it is conveniently disconnected already up here. Didn't want it falling down on me, but we are going to take this shackle off as well. So now that we have this all disassembled, we can go ahead and start working on taking off these shackles. Let's see if this front one will come off as easy as that back one. Oh, it is not 3/4. The front bolt on your rear leaf spring, this guy is 13/16. And the back side is 7/8. So that's convenient. And after much fighting and thought into this is what I've come up with. On the back side, I got a deep set 7/8 socket. The front side here, 13/16. I got my big breaker bar on the back, and this is not ideal, but we're going to use the jack to lift up that back breaker bar because I just can't get enough pressure on it. See if that'll break it loose, and we'll go from there. Yep, popped it loose. Yeah, it makes me nervous when you've got that much torque, things under that much pressure. Safety glasses, ear protection, the helmet, whatever you gotta do. Now it's in a place. My breaker bars, the angle's not right. The moral of the story, be prepared for a battle with this bolt. Be prepared for a battle. Now I've got to put my ratcheting socket back here because my breaker bar wouldn't get the right angle. So with my ratcheting socket on there, just fits inside of this pry bar, and we'll do it like that. So yeah, the moral of the story on this front bolt, and actually I've heard of the rear ones giving people a lot of trouble as well. Just have yourself a plan with, you have to have 1/2 inch. I don't think you could do this with 3/8. Well, I'd be surprised if you could. You're gonna end up breaking wrenches for sure. So I'd have a set of 1/2 inch sockets. These are deep set sockets. Some big old pry bars, breaker bars. I used that jack to just break it loose initially because, man, breaking this nut loose, it was just fused on there. So, yeah, don't think this part's going to be easy. All right, let's take our jack stand here. We'll support the axle and let's see if we can remove this leaf spring. Maybe not. This front bolt, even though I got the nut off, it is still fused in there. Well, that wasn't so bad. We've almost got it here. Just takes a couple hours of your work. Pry bars, be sure to get yourself a 5-pound sludge. You're gonna need that to beat on the back of it. About 1.5 gallons of PB blaster. 10-foot pry bar. Maybe some heat. And actually, honestly, one thing I was doing that really helped. I was beating the bolt actually back and forth to try to loosen it up. Also, my impact driver was shaking it a lot with that, and finally we've got it loose. So I think it'll break loose now. I think it'll come out, but man, what a pain. Be prepared for a battle. Oh, we were close. We got one side, a little bolt on the back. See if this will. This has been fun, but you know what? I posted on Instagram and a lot of people are making comments and stuff, so that'd be fun. Why don't I live stream this? Take a break for a quick minute. I'm gonna set up a live stream. That'll be fun. Where was I? So yeah, last thing I was doing, I was using this little guy here. I need something back behind there to pry on this. I was trying to punch it from the other side with a bolt, but the angles are just tough. Oh. Ha! Yay! We got it! It just flew out across the room. Boy, that was a pain. Did I say that was a pain? That was a pain. We still have this back shackle, even though I got the leaf spring completely off here. That is not normal. Leaf spring is completely off because it's busted. So we still have to remove that back shackle so I can get my new hardware in there. So let's do that. So this back shackle, this is going to be a problem because the gas tank's in the way here, and I am not removing that. So this is from the back side here. We got the fuel tank right here. Here's our shackle we're going to be removing. That top bolt, I don't think I can get it out. So this is what we're looking at. We got the shackle mostly removed, but that one bolt runs into the gas tank. Now your options are, you can unbolt the back side of the gas tank, but then you also have to wrestle with the fill and vent hose that go up to the fill tube, and that is all just a big hassle. I am going to elect to take a Sawzall blade, metal cutting blade, and just cut this bolt off. But my warning is we are working very close to the gas tank. There's fumes, there's the fill hose and vent hose right there. Don't blow yourself up if you try this. That's what I'm doing. You do this at your own risk. Get a little oil on that, a little bit of oil on the blade. I want to make sure that I don't run the Sawzall into the fill or vent tube up there. I gotta be really careful about where I'm cutting. Oh yeah, we are 75% of the way there. Might be able to break it off. Yep. There it is. We got it. We didn't blow ourselves up. And with the bolt cut off, the shackle comes away. Now I just gotta pull that bolt out from the other side. Okay, now on the back side here, we can take this rubber bushing out and the metal sleeve on the inside here so we can get our new hardware in there. Well, that was fun. So yeah, I found it's best just to drill it out, soften up the rubber, give yourself a little room. So we're just gonna dig the rest of this out and clean it up, wire brush it real quick. But we got it done. I really like this rust converting spray paint. It just takes surfaces like that and protects it, prevents further rust. And it converts the rust so you can paint over it if you want. We've got it mostly cleaned up there, but I want to give it a shot of this anyways. Okay, our mounting points are all clean and dry now, so on to mounting the leaf springs. And a couple things on the leaf springs. There is a larger diameter and smaller diameter. The smaller diameter goes towards the back, the larger towards the front. And in the center of the leaf spring here, there's a little stud right here, and you got to make sure that that gets mounted. There's a little dimple in this bracket right here. You just got to make sure that that little stud gets lined up with that straight. Now, if your leaf spring, if your kit has, it's a lift kit, it might have a little wedge right here. The smaller end goes towards the back and the larger end towards the front. And that just helps with your pinion angle. So it'll take your axle and kind of tip it like that a little bit so that your differential, so the pinion is lined up right towards the transfer case a little bit. If you put it in backwards to where that wedge is down like this, it'll actually make your pinion angle worse. So if yours has a little wedge on it, make sure that the larger end is towards the front. And we are going to get the front of the leaf spring in first here. And I've got new 9/16 grade 8 hardware here, and we're going to be greasing everything up as we go along and locking nuts here. We're just going to get this on snug right now. We're not going to tighten this until we get everything put together and the Jeep on the ground. So of course we're making sure the little stud on top of the leaf spring here is engaged into that plate there. And on the bottom of the leaf spring there's that little nut right there in the center of the screen. We've got to make sure that that fits nicely into the bottom of this plate. And then we will go ahead and tighten these guys down. Now we can move on to the rear shackle here. So this is a boomerang style shackle, and we want to make sure we get everything greased up really well here. Now these nuts that we're putting on here, these are jam nuts, like locking nuts. They have 3 little divots on them that lock them in place, so they'll only thread on so far. You can see there's one of the little dimples. There's 3 little dimples on them, so that just prevents it from threading on all the way. Now the torque specifications on this we'll talk about in a second. Right now, we're just going to get these things on here, and then we'll end up tightening everything once we get the vehicle on the ground. Let's hook the shock back up here. All right, so now that we've got everything back together, we can go ahead and put the wheel back on. We want to get the Jeep, I'm going to actually do the other side, and when the other side is done, get the Jeep on level ground, then we'll go along and torque everything. Easy, done. Actually, that's where I run into a little bit of problem. The torque specifications on this are not clear. The front bolt on the stock leaf spring, the stock torque is 105. These U-bolt are 90. I mean, that's pretty easy. The rear shackle, Rugged Ridge did not send any installation instructions with this. I actually have a message out to them on how to torque these rear shackle bolts. Some sources that I'm seeing are saying the top and bottom get torqued to 30 foot-pounds and the center to 55, but I want to read that somewhere off of Rugged Ridge's website or the manufacturer's recommendation, because I'm not 100% sure on that. So like I said, I have a message out to Rugged Ridge. I'll let you know what they say on these shackles, if they even give me torque specifications. If you guys know, make a comment down below, leave a link, whatever, help each other out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video right up here. Have a good day. Ooh, and one last thing I almost forgot to say, after this is all torqued and done, after you drive it for a while, like 300, 500 miles, after you drive it for a little while, you need to go back and re-torque everything. So remember that as well.